All right, guys, let me go ahead and kick off my Bluetooth and best do my best Matthew McConaughey impression. All right. Welcome everyone. Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Got some new
Doing
faces.
good.
Yeah, so listen, guys, if so for those of you who already know me and this is not your first rodeo with our webinars and Zooms on Wednesday. I like to keep it interactive. Um, so welcome everybody. Don't be shy. If you don't want to share your screen, no worries. But I always ask to, when you have a question, just unmute yourself and just ask. It's just a lot easier to do instead of just putting it in the chat because and Daryl said he invited a business partner. Thank you, Daryl. We always appreciate the referrals. And we appreciate you being a part of our community. We
Oh
got
yeah.
a couple of guests, special guests today. I got a one of my old school friends, BB Mohan, is here for the first time. So, Beebs, welcome, welcome. We keep it light, we keep it interactive, and we keep it informative. Um, so let's see who we got on here. Teddy, Stephanie, Matthew, Daryl, John Robertson, my friend John's here. BB, Thurman, Phil, and we have a couple of people, Dennis on his iPhone. So good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening or late afternoon, depending on where I'm reaching you out in the world today. Wednesday nights, just to set the stage, is kind of giving you a recap of how this application is utilized for your real estate investment operations. We don't go too deep into the weeds with any one specific feature. That's what Saturdays are for. And by the way, for those of you who have the application downloaded, I'm hoping that's all of you, right? Because why wouldn't you have it downloaded? It doesn't cost you anything to get notified in real time of deals going up. That's free forever, indefinitely.
Definitely.
And for those of you that don't have it downloaded, there are QR codes on my screen right now as I speak, where you could just take your phone if you're not on it, and just go ahead and just click on App Store, Google Play, and just download it right now. So today's a special day, guys. So we got a lot of things happening. Give me a thumbs up or just say yes or no. Has anybody heard of a company called LeadZolo? You can't answer, John.
Nope. Never heard of
Okay.
it.
Nope.
Okay. Good, good, good. I want to hear the no's. John, you cannot answer.
Yes.
Awesome. So we
Never heard of it.
finally launched our partnership with LeadZolo. I would say 70% of the work is done on our end, which just means that everything on our end is pretty much done. They're creating a marketplace for you guys. LeadZolo is a lead generation company. What they do is they have a technology on their back end that they started many, many years ago. You can actually Google or YouTube Drew Carroll, that's Drew Carroll, Carrell, lead Lead, Zolo, Zolo, and you'll see the amazing things they've been doing nationally. They have managed somehow to create a platform on their end to be able to gather motivated sellers, the actual sellers, the people that own the properties, and they have managed to have them raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in selling my property. Will you help me dispo it? And for those of you guys don't know what dispo means, it's to basically sell it for them, right? On the private market. We have been able to capture that data on Flipid. So when you're strolling around, and we're going to show you today how to do that from market to market, and we're looking for a specific property, and the application will actually create a radius around the property you're looking for and show you additional motivated sellers in that area. So hopefully you guys are excited. More than happy to show it to you guys. Before we start, I want to know how many of you guys, if you have your video on, with a raise of hands, or just a thumbs up on the chat. Have you guys been receiving a lot of notifications of real-time properties going up from either us or other wholesalers?
Yes. I've been receiving a lot of the REOs, but one thing I was going to bring up to you, I noticed in my notifications that it comes up twice in my in the flip bid notification. So like if one REO comes up, it'll be there twice.
Can I
Didn't know if
ask
y'all.
you if you tried entering an account one time and then logged in with another account permanently?
Um, no. So I mean, I'm already logged in the account with my original, the new account that I created.
Okay, so
So
we'll take a look at that offline. Who is that? Is that
okay,
Daryl?
yeah,
Daryl, let's contact support, just email support, and we'll set up a time to go over that with you. Okay, so that's more of a support question, but awesome. We will take care of that. We'll figure it out. It's probably an account setting thing. So okay, guys,
okay.
um so you guys should be receiving a tremendous amount of notifications if your notifications are on. The reason why you're receiving a lot more notifications is because this is really good news for everybody that's in our community. We have now potentially partnered up, and when I say potentially, it's not on paper. We've gotten a verbal so far with a clearinghouse. For those of you guys that don't know what a clearinghouse is, that is the fund or the asset management group that actually dispose deals in bulk. And what I mean by bulk is hundreds, sometimes thousands of properties, whether it's commercial, land, residential, multifamily, and they are the guys that sell them to the other funds and hedge funds that acquire these bulk. They call tapes, and those tapes are then either kept, resold on the market, or given back to the actual clearinghouse to be able to sell them individually one by one. Why is that important? Well, that's important to our community, and I'm very proud of it because you guys are going to get properties before the REO brokers even get them on Flipbid in real time nationally. So it's just starting. Okay. So there's a tremendous amount of things happening with Flipid. So with that said, let's go jump right in to the demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Let's hold up. We're gonna keep 7:15, I'm sorry, 7:45 to 8 p.m. for all questions. Just write them down for now. If you want to put them in the chat, I can review them at the end, but it's probably just easier to write them down because I'll lose them if there's an influx of questions. And then I'll get them answered one by one by one. So, so for those of that are new to the application, one thing that makes Flipbid very unique is that it's a community-driven application. What does that mean? You guys are the drivers of this application. We've created the Formula One race car, but it's not going anywhere without the Mario Andretti's of the world. That's you guys, right? So whether you're utilizing the application and driving it for sales, you're driving it for acquisitions to purchase properties, you're driving it to pull and research data, you're utilizing it for skip tracing purposes, or you're looking for distressed properties through our distressed property research filter, which we're going to go all into that right now. You guys are driving it and you guys are communicating with each other, right? So in the real world, or let's say, let's take it back 20 years ago, that wasn't the case, right? You would need to have a network. You would have to know people that knew people that knew people. There was a very a pen and paper antiquated way of doing this. Well, now it can all be done in a single vertically integrated platform called Flipbid. As you can see in the background, I'm not sharing that just yet. I'll share it now with you. Um, and here, there you go. Let me share that. As you can see in the background, the screen that I'm sharing. Just let me know if you see this, guys. Everyone see this? Got a visual of
Not
my
yet.
phone?
Still dark.
Still dark. Interesting. Hold on.
I have a good picture on my side. Maybe it's as
Okay.
much.
Yeah. All right. So you should be seeing a blue screen. All right. So basically, here's what we say. This is one of our ads, got flipped, right? Where we don't consider ourselves like others and our competitors like the batch leads, the privies, the deal machines, the investor lists, and REO pros. They are very good at what they do in their specific space. But what we've managed to do in Flipit is take the best of all of these worlds and the best parts of these applications. We haven't copied them. We just created the same system, like similar or like system, and put it into a vertically integrated system where it's not so fragmented. You don't have to utilize multiple technologies. You don't have to pay for multiple services and so on. And everything's done all in a single app. So how does this application work, right? So let's just get into it. So here's Flipbid. I'm going to share my screen with you. And we just launched the new version today. It should be ready to go. If you guys need to update it, all you have to do is go to App Store or Google Play and just click on find the application. Or unless your phone has a setting for automatic updates, it'll do it automatically. But you can go into App Store and just click on the update button. So with that said, here is Flipbit. So I've been playing around with it. Guess what? I got a bunch of LeadZolo leads, but let's start from scratch. Let's go. I always go back into my, my own neighborhood, my own backyard. So one thing you'll notice right off the bat with Flipit, it has a really intuitive, real interactive screen where all I'm doing is I'm just again using my fingers, just moving this around, right? Going from there's a financial district and looking at properties in the horizon, but I'm gonna have to clear some of these filters. Let me reset this all and then go right in. Okay, once you start scrolling and looking around, you'll start noticing a lot of icons populating. Some of those icons are representative of properties that are available for everyone. Some of those icons, the lavender houses, are properties that are held by contract holders that don't want to deal with anybody but principals. The guys that have money, they have the contract. They want to deal with only people that are direct buyers. They don't want to deal with agents, brokers, or nothing, right? The ones in the blue, anybody can just simply click on and be able to acquire it. Give me 1 second. Let me log out of discount and show you what it looks like from somebody that has an account that would technically be, somebody that's in our community that's not Flip It. So let me just log out here. Log out, log in with my other account. Okay, there we go. Awesome. So it'll log you in. It probably looks like this when you first download the application, right? Going back into New York, for example, just my backyard, just to show you. Once go into your respective area, you'll start seeing the icons. You could scroll out, scroll in. You could do, you could play around with it as much as like, guys, you're not going to break it. If something happens, it's definitely, it's just probably your phone slowing down, but you're not going to break it. No one's going to get in trouble by clicking on properties. One of the main features we love to show you guys is our Flipbid One Touch feature, right? So for Flipbid One Touch feature, now on the fly, you can go into your respective markets. I know the other day we were having an issue with our API data. But let's say you're a buyer in Connecticut, for example. I can go into Bridgeport, scroll right in. I don't know the address, but let's say raise your hands or say yes if you guys have gone driving for dollars or if you guys have gone into your respective markets or your own backyards and found a house that's been boarded up or something caught your attention. Yes? No?
Yes, yes, yes.
Daryl's my man. He loves to answer. I love it because he's getting comfortable now, guys. Right? So he's like, I'm gonna answer, Ken. We got a relationship now. So anybody else driving for dollars? No. Heard of that term? Do it. Don't do it. Don't like it. Anything. All right. Well, I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people out there that still do it, right? There's a lot of people out there that are in the middle of the desert in Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, that's a big city, but outside of Phoenix that are driving around and looking for these boarded up homes or the Midwest, right? Or, the southern states or in the northern states, right? Everywhere. People still do that. But guess what? Now you guys can sit on your sofas. Make sure you got your eyes on your kids. Maybe you got the football game in the background, right, on a Sunday morning. You got Flip It open in front of you. You're like, yep, this is my backyard. I'm driving around. Oh, I remember this street. It was right. It was right off of Park Avenue. Here's Park Avenue. And then you can look around and actually scroll into a property and be like, yeah, this was the house, right? And all you have to do with Flip It One Touch is take your thumb, press down on any property, pin it because it works on latitude, longitude lines. Once you pin the property, Orion's going to ask you, Orion's your assistant, by the way. Orion's going to ask you, well, You found the property, 66 Maplewood Avenue. That's the one you passed by the other day while you were either picking up and dropping off your kids or going on a hot date, right? You drove by, it caught your eye, right? But you're like, I'm gonna remember that the house number and I'm gonna looking to flip it. You found it. Now, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to acquire it, right? Are you looking to sell it, dispositions? Are you looking to just pull some research and data? Or now you can actually get a loan on it from Pro Services. You can actually request up to 15 different loan types, fix and flips, fix and holds, DHCRs, I'm sorry, DSCRs, um, bridge loans, construction loans, right? Because potentially, look, you may not want to buy or sell the property. Maybe you own it outright. You just want to get a loan. You have the ability to do that now with Pro Services. You just click on it and go through the fields. And we'll go into that in a second. For now, you have a property in Bridgeport, Connecticut. This is your respective backyard, let's say, and you just want to pull some research and data. So what would you do? You just want to research it. You want to find out some mortgage information. You want to pull some sales comps, so on. So who wants to take a guess what we got to do to get some research, to get some data from here?
You mean like click the request data?
That's it. That's
What do
it.
you
That's
mean?
right. That's right. My
I'm in
friend Dee Dee,
kindergarten here.
she's gonna win the game today. I mean, she's gotten everything right. Okay, so request data is right. Okay, so you would not be able to pull this data, but you'll be able to sell this properties. Okay, no problem. So sometimes, guys, question comes up. We don't have data on every single property, especially multifamily and commercial. But if you go into the outskirts into residential, which we are looking to integrate other data providers, well, let's look into this one. Okay, 23 Ward Terrace, right? And you go to research and data and you request the data. Okay, this one we were able to pull right away. The application is going to show you a street view, which, by the way, you can move around from here, right? But you can even get deeper into that, right? So it looks like, hey, that's the house. That's it right there. All I'm doing is using my finger, guys, on the screen. It works on Google Maps technology, but you know it's a three bed, three bath. You got some basic information. You know it's a single family property. How? Because it says SFR. If it was a multifamily property, it would say MFR, and so on, commercial land, and so on. Now we're going to go ahead and view that property. This is how you pull and research data. We know you guys are doing it because we have a back-end dashboard. And throughout the day, we notice everyone ripping data from every single market. Why are they doing that? Because it's a part of their operations. They want to have make an educated decision on dispo, on acquisitions, on their respective businesses and what kind of investment they're getting into. How does this help? Okay, well, a couple of things. I'm going to get into LeadZolo last. From here, you'll be able to see the beds, the baths, the square footage. That's the lot square footage. Property information. We know the building square foot is 1,483, built in 1960. Property taxes are 10,500. Here are some sales comps. You don't have to go anywhere else. We give you not only the ARV, but the ARV high, average, and low to help you make your decision. Now, some sales comps over the last year, they range from about 580 to about 717. So you can make a guesstimate. Maybe this property on average cost, like you said, the ARV for this particular property average 745. So it must be one of the nicer properties in the neighborhood based on the comps. Mortgage data. Why is that important? You want to know who the owner is, right? It looks like a Sota and Saromta, right? And they bought this house in 2020. They bought it for 393,000. They have a first and second mortgage. They got a ton of equity for $249,000. Why is that important? How many of you guys have heard the term subject to, or hey, I have a subject to deal, a sub two deal? How many?
Daryl.
Daryl has.
I have.
Okay, John, there you go. So
I
subject
heard of
to
it before.
so subject to is a way where you can assume someone's loan and have an entry point to be able to acquire that loan and take it over and allow the homeowner, if they're going through some sort of formal distress, usually, or they would like to, have you take over that loan, assume it for a set cost. It gets a lot more deeper than that, but we have again coaching partners that can go a little bit more into individual asset types, subject to wholesale assignment of contracts, REOs, so on and so on. But this is important to know for any one of those type of sale types. Your first, second mortgage equity, is it in foreclosure? Well, it's not, but we do know that So and Sarome, right? have the lender as People's United Bank. Okay, so now you got the bank, the person that holds the note for these people. Let's say that you were an aggressive wholesaler. You want to reach out to this. I can't say a couple because we don't know that. It could be two brothers, right, or two sisters. I don't know, family members. So you want to reach out to Sota and Saromta, right? How would you do that? How would you make a phone call, or before you wanted to go ahead and knock on the door? How would you do that, guys? Tell me how you do that now. Let's say this was the house that you passed by and you were interested in speaking to the owners. How would you do that?
Skip trace.
Great. You hit the nail right on the head. Who was that? My man
Me.
Thurman. Hell, hey, look at that. I got to see
Hey.
your face. My man
Yeah.
Thurman. My man Thurman, by the way, has been uploading some amazing properties, guys. Check it out. He's all over. He's got a bunch of deals, but he's absolutely right. You're going to be able to skip trace it. Where do you got to go? Does anybody have to leave flip it to skip trace? No. Every property that you visit on Flipbid, we consider it a virtual visit. You virtually visited that property. Now, whether you're sitting in your car waiting for your coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, or you're in a drive-through, or you're at a restaurant, or you're resting on a sofa on a Saturday, Sunday morning, right? You visited that property. Every property you visited gets saved in your My Visits. Where is that? That is under your My Profile. Once you go to My Profile, you'll see My Visits right at the very top, and you'll have a list of properties you visited. I've visited a lot. I've skip traced a lot. The ones you skip traced come up on top because we look at it like those are the more important properties for you, because those are the ones you skip trace. And once the skip trace is done, the rest are underneath, right? So here's what I think we were at. Was it Ward Terrace, Fairfield,
Yes,
Connecticut? Okay, that
yes.
was it. Awesome. So you're going to check that. By the way, you could select all, export all the skip tracing data out, and it'll go right into your email that you have registered with the application. All the phone numbers, all the emails, everything we've collected for each individual property in an Excel form spreadsheet. You can export the whole thing out. But for today's purposes, we're going to uncheck select all. We're going to go to 23 Ward, hit the skip trace button here. It's going to ask you sure you want to skip trace it? Yes, you do. You get up to 100 skip traces every month. And here it is. Here's Ward Terrace. So I'm going to click on that. And just like Thurman said, here's your skip trace information. So here's your skip trace. And guess what? So and so on top, we got phone numbers and emails. What do you do to call them? Anybody want to take a guess?
Just
Come
click
on,
on it.
Thurman. You got this. You click on the button. That's all you do. You just click on the mobile button and it just dials out for you. Simple as that. So now you can make a phone call because you're being aggressive. I'll set up a scenario for you. We live in New York. I used to be, which I didn't know back then, there was a name for it, a bird dog, right? You go out, you find deals, when you try to sell them to, I didn't even know there was a name for it back then, right? But apparently, once in a while, there was a deal in not such a nice area in Brooklyn, and I was approaching people's homes. They didn't know who the heck I was. Now, imagine someone squatting in a home, probably already worked up because they've gotten a bunch of letters. I had a gun pulled out on me. That's a real story. And they told me to get off their property. So it could get dangerous, so please be careful out there. But wouldn't it be nice to actually try and make a phone call from your car before approaching that property? Well, you could do that. You could sit in your car and just say, "Oh, 55 or whatever this property is, Ward Drive, whatever the house number is," and actually try to make a phone call. Yes, you could do that now. That doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'm gonna send an email out. You just click on the email, send it over. Hopefully, you get a response. Worst case scenario, you don't get a response. At the very least, you don't go up to the door and go, "Hey, by the way, can I speak to the owner?" They're going to be like, "Beat it," right? If they're not so nice, and a lot of them, let's be real. We're living we're working in a space where not everybody's in their Sunday best, or in their best spirits, because sometimes they are losing their homes. It's a very sensitive subject. But at the very least, you know who they are. You can introduce yourself. You can introduce yourself by their name and say, "Hey, by the way, I got some information. It looks like you're in distress," and so on. But now you can get in touch with everybody that you like with My Visits. Now, my friend John Robertson is going to love this because LeadZolo finally got integrated. So while you're looking for this property, John shakes his head. John, are you shaking your head because I call you out, or are you shaking your head because you're
No,
upset?
no, neither. Actually, this is what my screen looks like. This is the exact thing you have pulled up, and see what's missing under sell my deal?
What's missing? LeadZolo?
Very good. And I've
Well, that
updated it just like Phil said.
you've updated it. Are you sure you've updated it? Because
I
this is
just
a
I went into the app store like Phil said, hit
uh-huh.
update button, and then opened it back up.
Impossible. There's no such thing as two app stores. There's only one. There can only be one, John. So we're going to work with you on that. Don't worry about it. I'll speak to you right after this call about that, okay? Because I know you've been waiting on it. So let's figure out why it's not showing up on your side. Because I literally just downloaded this 30 minutes ago before I got on the
I
call.
just updated as well on my end. I saw that when Ken said it was already available, I went to the App Store, I clicked update, and it just updated, and all of a sudden LeadZolo was there.
All right,
So
so
Yeah.
we'll work with you, John.
My,
Let's see. Let's
yeah,
figure it out.
mine doesn't say update anymore because I've already done it, but it's not on my screen.
All right. Well, maybe it's a simple log out and log back in situation, but let's go ahead and get through the demo, and John, you and I will work on that immediately after this,
Okay.
okay? So, powered by LeadZolo, why is that there, guys? Because guess what? Here's the real life scenario. You only know what you know, right? You're a wholesaler because you knew about 23 Ward Terrace, Fairfield, Connecticut, because you knew that that is the property you wanted to approach for one of many different reasons, whether it was in distress or it's a deal that came across your desk. Maybe you got a text from one of your colleagues in the industry, whatever it is, you wanted to enter, you wanted to look into that and explore that a bit more. But now what LeadZolo does, it creates an outline, and I'm going to open this up within a 3 mile radius of Fairfield, Connecticut, right? Uh, Fairfield, Pennsylvania. I don't know. Okay, give me. Okay, so we'll fix this. So they're pulling up Fairfield. It looks like of every state of Fairfield. That'll be fixed by in a couple days. So what it's supposed to be doing. By the way, don't beat up on me, guys. We just launched this. There's like 2 days of testing that needs to be done. So they'll pull up every property here, and when you click on it, they're gonna get notified that you're looking into the property, and they will call you personally within 24 hours to speak to you about how you can acquire that lead. Okay. I'm gonna make a note of this because that's just the data setting. They're gonna have to fix that. They're probably connecting it to Fairfield, and it should be only around Fairfield, Connecticut. That'll be fixed in like 2 days. Okay, so with that said, so LeadZolo is being integrated. So we have the motivated seller leads. We have the click here button that'll be where you can actually connect to sellers and they'll let you know what the property conditions are. Is it fair? Poor, because it says it right there, and good, and what the reason is that they're selling, looking for a quick sale. This is not our data, by the way. This is data that the homeowner plugged in, said, yes, I'm going to raise my hand. I'm looking to sell my property, and we only need a couple of pieces of information. They're a motivated seller. We have the address. And what the condition of the property is, reason why they're looking to sell it, and just click here. When you click there, now you've 10x your search of properties like the one you're looking for. I do apologize. This has to be fixed. I'm going to go ahead and get this fixed immediately. Actually, I'm probably going to have to get on a development call tonight to fix that, but it'll outline a radius of 3 miles of similar properties in that area. Okay. Also, what you can do, and John, I'll go into your neck of the woods to see what that's looking like. Where are you looking right now? And I know you're in Tennessee, so what town? Let's see what we can populate there.
Memphis.
Memphis? Okay. So you can go ahead and plug in Memphis. And by the way, guys, you can do one of many things. So you can go into Memphis, Tennessee. It'll navigate you to Memphis. Here's Memphis. There you go. Beautiful town. John's backyard. He's looking for properties that are LeadZolo leads over here and potentially others. How do I do that? Here is the map filter, guys. For those of you who don't know what that little button does, that button right there creates a map filter. It lets you know, okay, what kind of properties? What are you looking for? Community uploads? Are you looking for LeadZolo leads? Or are you looking for other investors? Those are the ID cards that you see populated everywhere. Those are verified investors that are actually have a track record of buying real estate. So for now, we're going to say, look, I don't need to see any verified investors. I do want to see other properties uploaded by our community, right? REOs, wholesale deals and so on. But I also want LeadZolo leads, just like John is after, and we'll get them up and running very shortly. And so we're going to go right into Tennessee, the state first, always. And just so you guys understand, LeadZolo leads will not populate if you look for state only. It has to be city specific. So you cannot choose all cities looking for LeadZolo leads. They have a tremendous amount of leads. They just won't populate. So you have to pick a city. So Memphis it is. Memphis it is. Let's go into Memphis. Here it is. Memphis. Apply filters. And there you go. We got a couple for you, John. We got a couple. Oh, we got a ton.
Wow.
We got a ton. That's just Memphis, 3 mile radius. So this is working. I just have to, I got to do a little bug testing on the other one, where it says powered by LeadZolo. But yeah, there you go, John. I hope that makes you smile a little bit, right? So here's all the LeadZolo leads. Why do we, give you full transparency? Because you only know what you know. And if you're a wholesaler, the first thing you're doing is you're looking for motivated sellers. We have now solved that problem in one of many different ways. One, we could show you LeadZolo leads, motivated seller leads, but also two, even if you're in a specific market looking for a specific property, right, within a certain area, let's say this looks very industrial. Let's go into a more residential area. If you're looking for a specific property around Memphis, Tennessee, as an example, and you were searching this piece of property here, 6914 Market Way, and you didn't know there were any LeadZolo leads, which is motivated sellers, the first thing you would probably want to do is research that property. Once you research it, we're automatically going to add in, oh, you know what, John? So I'm not getting it here.
Mm-hmm.
So there might not be any leads in that specific area or didn't populate. That could be it as well.
I don't think so because I put in the exact same address you did on Ward Terrace.
Okay, and you weren't able to populate that?
Well, where you have the LeadZola little icon inside the filters, it doesn't
Mhm.
show up in mine, and I have updated the software. I have logged out and logged back in, and it's still.
So do me a favor while I'm doing it, because you've been on this demo a couple of times. Go
Mhm.
do exactly what I did. Go to map filters, click on Tennessee, Memphis, LeadZolo, and see if those populate. Just test that out. I
You can,
can't see that yet.
yeah, it's
I
lead
I can't
lead
see that.
LeadZolo is missing as a choice. So you see how you have the box check
Oh,
for.
so okay, so then you don't have it updated. Yeah, it's not updated. So we'll work on that. So back to motivated seller leads, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear this out, and let's just stay in the same reset all. Everything goes away, right? And now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you distressed property search filters. Why are those important? So if you're looking for pre-negotiated properties, right? I don't want to deal with a wholesale deal. I don't want to deal with a contract assignment. I want to do it from scratch. I have enough knowledge in the real estate investment industry where I want to be able to deal with a homeowner that's under distress, whether you have a tax delinquency, you're in foreclosure, you're in pre-foreclosure, you got a notice of list pendants or notice of default. Does anybody know the difference between notice of list pendants and notice of default? Anyone? Anyone? If you don't know, it's okay. But if you do, I'd love to hear you share it. Okay, so the notice of list pendants, right, is a debt is basically a lien that's put on the property. They where you in layman's terms where you owe someone money. Okay, whether it's a contractor you didn't pay and they put a a lien on that property, or there is some sort of litigation against your physical asset for monies that are owed. Simple. A notice of default is usually a notice received by your lender after being behind over 90 days. Okay. You're going to receive a letter saying you're in pre-foreclosure. Okay. Now we gather the data that we gather through our distressed property search filter, which is this little guy right here, this button. We'll stick to Memphis, Tennessee, right? We'll go right in. and show you what that looks like. So once I click here and say Memphis is my territory, by the way, you guys could do this in LA, you could do this in Miami, you could do this in Chicago, you could do this in, Jersey City, wherever you guys are, Boston, Connect, and everything in between, Dallas, anywhere. You could take this little icon. It'll show you a quick, easy step on how to plug away at that polygon search. You can read it through. You don't have to read it now, but once you click on it, you could work. It took me, I could be honest with you, it took me like 6 or 7 tries to figure it out. All you do is take your thumb. I call these the little it balloons. Who's seen the movie It? That's what they remind me of. They remind me of the clown It, and they're the balloons. So I just call them the balloons from now, right? You take the balloons, you press it once, you press it the second time, and you can place it exactly where you want that property search distress filter to be located in a specific market. So let's say this is my area. Minimum has to be 1 mile. Maximum you can do is 3 miles. So it has to be between 1 and 3 miles in a specific area. Hit the search button and it'll be able to pull within seconds foreclosures, notice of default, all list pendencies, as well as tax delinquency. So let's take a look. So we have a bunch of foreclosures in this area. Let's click on the first one, that Pikewood Drive, right? What good is it if we don't have the information? You need to pull the information. I'm going to go back to my man Thurman. Thurman, what kind of information do we need? What do we need to do to these properties in order to make the phone call?
Well, first of all, we got to talk to the owner.
How are you going to talk to the owner?
Okay, we're going to use our skip tracing information, get
That
in contact with them, and find
that's
out what
right.
to do.
That's right. Where are you going to skip trace it? On what platform?
We're going to use the, let me see, distressed
What's the platform,
property.
Carl? What's the application in your hand? What are you going to use?
Oh, Fitbit.
That's right. That's what I want to hear. That's what you're going to use. So we're going to go ahead and choose that first one, the foreclosure. We're going to go ahead and click on, let's say, this foreclosure here. We're maybe going to click on maybe a notice of default if there's one. There's a notice of default here. Here you go. Donington Court or CV. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and click on add to my visits. It works the same way, guys. When you visit a property, whether you're scrolling around on the map, you're on your sofa, you're driving around, when you visit a property, it ends up in your My Visits. When you use the property search filter, you can add those distressed properties to your My Visits as well. One or many, just like I'm doing now. Once you click on the add to My Visits, now you see it looks a little different, right? Because here's My Visits, right? And then here's distressed properties. All I'm doing is clicking on it. And you could go back and forth from this window. Go back to My Visits, go to distressed properties, newest to oldest, right? So here we go. We have a bunch that were skip traced already. Here's the 3: Germantown, Tennessee, Germantown, Tennessee, Germantown, Tennessee. We're going to click on all 3 of them. Again, works the same way. Check one, check many, select all, skip trace, and export. I don't want to export it. I'm not going to go through the Excel spreadsheet. I want to see on Flipit what kind of information do we have, right? So we're going to check the 3 off that we're interested in, hit the skip trace button, hit OK. Give it a second. Let it work its magic. All right, here we go. So we got the foreclosure, the notice of default, and another foreclosure. Let's take a look at the first one, guys. Let's see what that looks like. I'm gonna click on the first one. And here's the distressed property information under powered by LeadZolo. They're motivated sellers leads. Now, this information is specific to what you guys are looking for in distressed properties. You want to know who the owner is, right? The owner, you want to know if it's owner occupied, yes or no. You want to know who the lender is. Sometimes we get the lender, most of the times we get the lender, sometimes we do not. What the estimated equity is, what's the estimated value if it's in foreclosure. It's a shame that this house is in foreclosure because it looks like they have no, minimal to no what do you call it, mortgage, but it's in foreclosure. So maybe it's already foreclosed on. But Benjamin Cheryl Shelton, you could connect with them doing it the same way. Click on the mobile, dial out. You could dial out one phone number, second phone number. There was no emails to be collected on here. But this is some information that you're going to need. But if you go into foreclosure information, it's going to have some information. So it looks like it was foreclosed on, and the auction date was back in 2018 at the courthouse, Shelby, Memphis, Tennessee. Are you familiar with that? Where that is, John?
Yeah, it's downtown.
Okay. So this happened a while ago. And just listen, guys, keep this in mind. Expectations, right? Expectations. Distressed properties can make you a ton of money if you do it the right way. Okay. If anybody has experience getting an assignable contract or a right of first refusal contract on a short sale, right? Or if you're processing this distressed property with the lender and getting a payoff, and John can probably attest to this. He looks like he's very seasoned. I know for a fact he's very seasoned. You can make tens of thousands of dollars. Am I correct, John?
Absolutely. On this particular lead, let's talk about that since you pulled it up. This is something that we'd probably skip because it's already been foreclosed on like years ago. So
Yeah.
that's probably not the right owner information anymore either, is what I'm going to guess if they're the ones that were foreclosed on.
So I could tell you the data is 20 days old, so I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe it's in litigation. We have no idea. But what we can tell you is the data is updated every 20 days. So this is interesting, right? And so going back to John's point, Black Knight Investments LLC, who looks like it's the new owner now, okay, right? We don't know like when that was acquired or when that deed hit, right? When that deed was recorded, it probably didn't. We didn't. It hasn't been recorded yet, or something's going on with our data. It wasn't able to pull it over the last 20 days. But our data aggregator, via API, updates our data every 20 days. So let's just take a look at the second one, the notice of default, distressed property information. So this one, we got Dustin and Christina Barnes, right? They have a mortgage balance of 191,000, equity about 133, right? It is owner occupied. The lender is Financial Federal Bank. Not very familiar with them, but I'm sure some of you guys are. It's a single family residence. It is a distressed property. We were only to get one phone number on this. Let's see if there's any foreclosure information. So it's not in foreclosure. There's no auction date set yet. So most likely this being a what was it, notice of list pendants, they're probably just having some financial hardship. So this one could be something that either if the phone number and email doesn't work, you might want to reach Dustin, Christina, maybe knock on their door, maybe send them a postcard and say, look, understand you may be going through some financial, however you want to word it, right? I'm not one to be able to tell you how to handle your operations, but maybe a good contact to reach out to. Remember, it's a numbers game, guys, right? Like we're not going to do some, we're not the golden goose, and like, but what we are is another technology that helps you streamline your operations just a little bit better, right? And you could scale it. Now, let's go to the third one. This is a foreclosure, right? Distressed property information. Looks like a Blake Hunter, Holly Lewis went into foreclosure. Blake and Holly, here's your landlines, here's your mobile lines. It's in foreclosure, mortgage balance of 95,000, equity of 299,000, Republic State Mortgage Company, right? Let's see if foreclosure information. 2022, pretty well, a couple of years ago. Looks like 100 North Front Street, where the judgment took place, or the auction took place. And you can see if you can reach out to them. It doesn't look like they have a new owner just yet. Um, but again, if you do enough of these skip traces, distressed property skip traces, you actually do your homework. I've done three, right? How much do you need to make if you got one good deal in a month? And these deals were worth 10, 15, $20,000 if you just did your due diligence, maybe more, $30,000, and were able to connect with one or two right people and created a pipeline of distressed properties, two a week, one next week, three the next week, right? By the time you get to the end of the month, you have about 10 deals in your pipeline. But again, Flip It is a technology. Like I said, it's the Formula One race car, but you guys are the drivers. Like it'll help you get to from point A to point B in your real estate investment journey, but you got to put in the work, right? Now, final thought. I know everyone's seen this. I'm gonna just ask this question because this is like I know because John sat through this multiple times. How many of you guys are still having difficulty understanding how to sell a property, dispo it on Flip It?
I think we should go over it quickly.
Yeah.
Let's go over it really quickly, right? There's two types of sellers that we notice that are out there in this space, right? Sellers that don't want to disclose the property address, and there's sellers that do not care. They have the contract. There's no way they can get circumvented. I don't care which way you like to cut the cake. So, how do you do that? You can put in the address right up here. I don't have the address in Memphis. We'll stick to Memphis for now, but I know that this is my house. I could just click it here. If it's 6796 slash Pine Cove, all you have to do is hit the dispositions after you put in the address, or you get to the property level, hit dispo, and you can basically put in all your information here. Let me just show you what the power of our disposition engine looks like, and I'll be quick about it. Not only can you share the data of your property, you can actually share the data of the pictures and video walkthroughs of your property. So let's say you want to tell everybody, and by the way, it works in real time. I'm going to upload this property and I'm going to go ahead and copy a link from my Google Drive. Everybody either has a Dropbox, a Google Drive, whatever it is, with all your pictures and videos. I always like to use my demo folder. Here it is. I'm going to attach my Google Drive folder, which, by the way, how many of you guys out there get those Constant Contact and MailChimp, HTML format clicks? Oh, wholesale deal for sale. Click here for more pics. It takes like 15 or 20 minutes to create that and send it out. This notifies everybody when I upload a property within minutes in real time, and these messages do not end up in spam. They end up right in front of our user's phone. So here we go. We're going to attach that drive. We'll put in a price just for the heck of it, $555,000. It's like a well-to-do area. Um, that's the price I'm looking for. It's a contract signing, short sale, straight deal, subject to wholesale. It's a wholesale deal. We'll put a picture up there for now. Let's say it's this one up here in Memphis, Tennessee. You could leave a voice note. In the day and age of AI, they still want to hear your voice, guys. So let's go ahead and do it. Hi, my name is Ken Singh. I have an amazing property in Memphis, Tennessee. The valuation averages about 725 to 750 for the single family home. It does need updating, but I do hold a contract. It's a wholesale deal. Connect with me on Flipid via chat and call. So once you go ahead and save that, everyone's going to hear your voice. Now I'm going to go ahead and click the update once you agree to terms and conditions, and you also agree to all state, federal, and real estate laws. And I'm going to show you what the power of this is, right? So when I upload this, I'm going to delete it because I don't want to get arrested because this house is not for sale, right? Everyone's going to get a notification, just like Thurman. Have you been getting those notifications you said, bud, yesterday?
Yes, I have.
You're and you're gonna get a ton more because we now people are starting to get upset. They get it, especially BB. My friend BB was like, "Ken, I gotta turn my notifications off. It's starting to annoy me." Right? So we are creating filters where you could actually be specific to which state and market that you want to get notified on, because we're gonna get tremendous amount of deals coming soon. When you view the property and someone views it, the seller gets notified that someone's viewing your property. Yes, in real time, it works in reverse. So if Phil, BB, John is looking at your property, guys, you're going to be able to say, you're going to see it that someone's viewing your property in real time. But remember that photos and documents, that Google Drive link? Well, check this out. When someone clicks on it, I don't have to go, forget about 20 miles away. I don't have to fly over state lines to view the video of this property. I just click on it and just see the video uploaded in the application that you are doing a video walkthrough of, whether it's the outside and the facade of the property, or you're going down to the boiler room and you're showing them what that boiler looks like, what condition it's in, right? And everything in between, pictures, videos. You have the comps, you have the ARVs. You could present this to everyone in our community in one shot. So that's where our power is, right? It's like the ease of use, the full transparency, and it's also getting you guys the exposure that you guys need, like not one to many in the shortest amount possible. So, for those of you guys that have been with us for a while, hang in there. There's a lot more to come. Virtual tours, web app coming out next year, early next year with a CRM system. Everything that you're seeing here. By the way, here's a notification for me. And that's how you check your notifications. You click on your profile, you go to My Connections. That's where you can call each other. Speaking about calling each other, I got to be honest with you guys. Whoever did not add their phone number into their profile, do not expect a phone call because no one can call you back because you have to add your phone number in the app. We don't sell your leads to people. We don't on the secondary market. That phone number's there. So when they see your missed call, they're gonna just see +1 for USA code without your phone number there. So if you're looking to sell something, probably not a good idea to hide your phone number, right? Let's go into messages. Here's my buddy Phil. Message me. It looks like a lot of work to be done, but let's make a deal. Let's get it in. Let's get it done. There you go. And it works just like chat. Now Phil's gonna get a notification. You guys start talking with each other, you know. Call me now. Let's chat. Right. And so he's gonna get a notification, just like chat or WhatsApp. You're gonna get a notification. It's seamless integration, guys, with community. So it's 7:50. I got 10 minutes left. I'm gonna take a few questions, and John, we're gonna go ahead and figure out what's going on your end, okay? Um, any questions? This is a very high level demo on Wednesdays. Any questions? Dennis, anybody else that's on there?
Thurman,
Thurman,
I have a
70.
question.
Yes.
So, so as for like the dispo now. So let's say we get a LeadZolo lead, we buy it, we put it under contract. We can just turn around and put it and dispo it right back on to flip it.
Oh, that's right. You picked up. You got the secret sauce. That's exactly right.
Okay, that's basically what I was trying to figure out in the beginning of our call, if that was the situation.
Oh
Now,
yeah, we are a full life cycle application for you guys. So yes, you
okay.
can do everything from acquisitions back to dispositions and just
Now
over and over.
it's the same monthly fee for acquisitions and dispo.
Oh, there's no separate fees. It's a subscription cost
Right.
and you get everything I showed you. There's no
Okay.
extra cost for skip tracing, this or that. You are getting the whole thing. And by the way, for those of you guys that are online, you guys are now my friends, right? You're friends of the family, right? Do not pay 129.99 on App Store and Google Play. Please ask us. Phil or my friend BB, who's potentially looking into getting involved with Flip It, but ask me for now or whatever it is, just like we have a specific URL to help you save 20%. It goes down to 109.99. Don't pay the $130, especially for those of you guys that are joining us on our demos, because why not save the 20 extra dollars a month, right?
Okay. How do we get that link there? That URL?
right now.
Yep, Phil will send it to you right now. He has a URL link. It's
Cool.
it's his specific link, and that's it. And we'll be able to activate you within minutes.
Okay. Now,
Phoebe, oh, go ahead.
what if I have a situation where another wholesaler comes to me and wants me to sell, wants me to find a buyer? Am I able to list their property on there?
Are they listed by, is it listed by an agent or broker with a listing
No,
agreement?
it would be in an off-market property.
Absolutely. We get hundreds of properties like that we upload.
Okay, so I would be representing his property, but he holds the contract though.
That's okay. So upload
Okay.
it. So here it is. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword, right? This is Dennis I'm speaking to right now.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a double-edged sword. You don't want to give away your secret sauce, which is us, because if he
Sure.
found out about it, he wouldn't want to use you.
So how could I? There's no way of hiding that, right? I would become full disclosure.
Well, you just tell him you use different systems to get find buyers for his property.
Okay.
If you want to be a nice guy and tell him it's Flip It and get us more business, we're gonna leave that up to you.
Right. Okay, so I cannot disclose. It's up to me whether I want to disclose or not.
Of course, you could upload a property without you're talking about disclosing the property or disclosing who it's coming from.
Disclosing the property.
You could upload the property without the house number. The way you do that, and you know what? Give me, if you don't mind, and I'll delete it. Let me delete this one first. So I'll go here. Let me go ahead and just delete this before I get in trouble. Go. Oh, by the way, hey guys, these little three buttons. This is where you could share properties. On each property, you could share it, edit it, delete it, and mark it in the contract. For now, we're gonna hit the delete property button. Oh, sorry, that was edit. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to upload the property very quickly without the house number, right? Do not expect data, full data for a property you're not going to upload with a house number. Why? Because we don't know what house it is. So give me an address, Dennis, and I'll show you. Not a full address. Just give me a street name, a city and state.
For me,
Yep.
geez, street name. Let's do
Give me your,
Barcelona
give
Ave.
me, yeah, anything. Go ahead. Barcelona.
Let's do Barcelona Ave in Fort Pierce, Florida.
Okay. Here it is right there. Barcelona Avenue, Fort Pierce, Florida.
Okay. Yep.
You're going to click on that. Orion's going to ask you, do you want to sell Barcelona Avenue? No, you can't sell the street, but what you
Right.
can do is hit dispositions.
Okay.
You notice there's no house number there? Hit the sell my
Right.
deal button, right? And it's going to let you upload a property. It's not going to give you the data that you need,
Okay.
but you can go ahead and plug in the information. Like, is it a wholesale? Is it $888,000? You could attach your
Mhm.
Google Drive, your pictures, your voice notes, and everything, and it's going to put
Okay.
an icon on the street. It won't even put it on the house because there's no house there.
Nice. That's cool.
So go
And
for it,
what?
man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
No, absolutely. We look forward to for having you join our community. Any
Awesome.
other questions, guys? We're down to 3 minutes. Beebs, what did you think about the first demo that you joined? Love to hear your feedback.
I mean, as always, I think the app is great. I just have more questions that I can talk to you. I don't want to waste everybody's time. I
Okay.
don't know if they would find my questions interesting or not because they've been viewing the app already. But for instance, this that he's doing, what would be the advantage to him if he's not getting all the data?
The advantage is he's getting exposure for his deal he's looking to sell and find a buyer for within our network.
So they just have to call him, but they won't see all the extra data that you
They
would
won't see
have.
the data, but they will be able to call him and connect with him directly. And by the way, connecting guys is very simple. We can just go into, as an example, here's a property. Click on the property, see what you like, click on the view property button,
Let's
and
go.
here you go. Here's the
All right.
chat button. There's
We
the
gotta
chat
go.
button, and there's the call button. That's it. Direct communication. Um, with that said, guys, I'm going to end this with this. I really appreciate everyone joining us on Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights, like kind of like the broad view of the demo. It's Saturday mornings between 10 and 11. We get a little bit more one-on-one, right? A little bit more into detail exactly how you wish to utilize the application. So just because you guys joined us today doesn't mean you can't join us on Saturday or the following Wednesday or the following Saturday. We welcome you every week if you like. Saturdays, we kick back, we figure out what's working for you, what's not working for you, how you're going to be able to utilize this application, and just get a little bit more deep in the weeds about your operation. So just know that Wednesday nights, primary demo, Saturdays, when you come back, roll back around, more than welcome if you guys have time between 10 and 11 Eastern Standard Time. We're just gonna kick it back and forth and see how this thing works for you guys. That work?
Work.
Let's do it. I hope to see you guys on Saturday. Have a wonderful Wednesday. John, can you stick back for a little bit? And Phil, Beebs, thanks so much for joining. Make sure, Phil, you just send over that URL if you can.
Yeah.
Actually, can I stay on with John just to see? Because my phone, I don't see the update either. Like, where are you going to see the update?
Sure, we can stay on it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Dennis, Thurman, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope to see, I hope to send you guys more properties, and I hope to see more of your properties online as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully see you Saturday.
Bye.
Enjoy your week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
So
All right.
when I go to flip to the app store
Yeah.
and I look because I already have the app on, right? You're saying something about getting the update.
Yeah, so let's start from scratch, right? So let's go ahead and delete this application off my phone. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to remove it. Delete app.
Wait, should I be deleting my app?
If you want to, nothing bad's going to happen. You already have your
Okay.
account.
Before we do that, is it going to erase the information I've already put in there?
No.
Okay.
But Ken, there's an easier way. Is there a way we can just go into the app and see the version?
Nope.
No, you
Okay.
can't see the version type because I'll tell you why. Because it's being we've been updating a lot of stuff over the last 3 months. As of next year, they'll have a version date on it. It'll be like version 3.4 or whatever it is, right?
Hmm.
It's just that, and the answer to that is the reason why we haven't done that yet. It was going to cause, I think, mass confusion. It would be like 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, right? It's just like because there's been so many updates, if you can understand, over the last 3 months. As of next year, it's going to slow down to maybe two, maybe three updates in the whole year. We
Hmm.
wanted to get these features out because a lot of people were asking about it, and we wanted to get close off the year pretty strong. And so it was just a whole timing thing. But next year, yes, you'll have a V 3.4, V 3.5, V so on and so on. So here we go, guys. So we're gonna go into the App Store. I'm on Apple. If anybody is anybody not on
Well,
iOS,
can we do it the way I already exist on the phone and I want to do the update, which John was doing? How, if you go to and look for Flipbit, is it going to tell you the,
yeah, yeah.
If
So
it's
I'll show.
available.
So when you go here and you already have the app already downloaded, so you search for Flipbit and hit search.
yeah.
Over here, it's going to say open, but if you click on the icon over here, it'll say update on the next on
Oh,
the
oh, I didn't click on the icon. My God, that was way too complicated. Hold on. I did not see that. I didn't know
okay,
you.
yes.
Okay.
So you got to click on the icon logo and then you hit update.
Then let me see if I see lead zero. Because I
Yeah,
was,
just John, do you want to delete the app and try to reinstall it? What if you're not still having that issue? Or if
I
you
just I just clicked update again. Let me just go back to the software and see if it did it this time.
okay. Yeah, I guess a lot of people don't realize like when you search for Flipit, it doesn't say update here. You actually got to click on the icon, get to the second screen, it has update there.
so
Now here's the thing. So like this is not a Flipit thing. This is a iPhone, Android thing. Your phones have features that you guys set up, right? That has when you go to your apps, it says like automatic update these apps or don't automatically update these apps.
Mhm.
It's specific to the device. That has nothing to do with Flipit, but you could try to mess around with those settings as well so it updates automatically. But we're usually good with letting you know. Yeah, John.
So what I was going to say is I did what Phil said on the call, and this is how I always update apps. You just hit the update button, which I did, and it looked like it was updating. But when I went in, it didn't. This time when I did it, with you telling me to hit that icon, which I'd never done before, then it popped back up another update. So I hit update again, and this time I have LeadZolo on my phone.
Awesome.
so I I don't have it yet. Well, let me ask you this, Ken. The property has, if I go choose a property in Long Island, right, that shows up on your app, will it say lead zero automatically, or do I have to click on the property like you were? Because I'm a little slow here. I've never been on
No
this.
problem. No problem. So this is
So
definitely something like we could talk about because we're running a little over time. But I'll answer that question. So if there's an icon on there, Daryl, John knows this, right? That means it's for sale. That means someone within our community, whether it
yeah,
was us or you guys, uploaded that property and someone is actively trying to sell this property. If you don't see an icon and you put your thumb down on a property, maybe you got, maybe through your network, through a text, an email, maybe, Micah got a property that he wants you to review. You could put in that address and then hold your thumb down on that property, and you'll be able to view all the data on it. And then maybe it's a distressed property you're looking for. You can go into the whole process of doing everything we did with skip tracing and getting a little bit more details of like what is the deal going on like with the homeowner. Are they in foreclosure, pre-foreclosure? So you can do one of different things. You don't now, and now that because we have REOs being rolled out from our clearinghouse, you don't only get like distressed properties or community uploads or LeadZolo leads or motivated sellers, but now we're getting REOs on a national scale. And this is before commercial, because we're going to be integrating multifamily and commercial from the same clearinghouse. We're getting about John's eyes are going to pop out when I tell him we're getting about $2 billion in assets on a monthly basis.
Wow. So let me ask you this real quick. That's impressive about the REOs. If I click on one of the little LeadZolo icons, it pops up the address, well, the actual street. It doesn't pull up the actual address. And then there's a button on there that says click here. What happens when you click here?
So your information, your phone number and email would just went to their sales department, and they're going to call you
Mhm.
within 24 hours with that address or of that property. They're going to let you know if it's available or not available, because we don't have that information. The agreement between LeadZolo and us was we weren't supposed to be their salespeople. We're
Mhm.
just supposed to get our users transparency on their deals. We needed to be able to provide a service, which is get additional motivated sellers for our users. And the deal was for them to be able to integrate with us and provide that service. So like we don't do sales for them, nor do we get paid on those leads.
Okay. I mean, it gives me another way. I have a LeadZolo account, but I'm pretty sure the way I look at it in there is a list view. So I can't really see where in the city it is. And I can't even remember if it's got the zip code in there or not.
Yeah, so it's going to get better. So they're building a marketplace on their
Hmm.
side. You'll be able to get additional information probably in about 90 days. We're not done. This is just the beginning with the LeadZolo integration.
Hmm.
We're going to build on this now.
That's cool. I like it.
Good. I hope you like it. We worked very hard on this thing. And by the way, we ain't stopping here, John. You see that. You see the proof is in the pudding, right? I promise I deliver.
That's right.
Thurman, my man, are we going to see some more properties getting uploaded?
I'm gonna put some in tonight.
You're the man. You're the man. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So look, Saturday morning, same time, same place. If you guys are available, I'm around. Let's see if we can make some magic happen. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye. Bye.
Have a good one.